like to introduce Heike, who is from the German chapter of CSI. And prior to joining CSI, actually, as a chapter at least, they ran a worldwide survey of colorist rates. And they were very precise in terms of it's a daily rate and do you include your own equipment or are you working for a facility and so on. And it's completely anonymous. So I would like to hand over to Heike. If I can see Heike. Are you there? There you are.
Yeah.
Okay. Welcome. Thank you for, well, both the work in analyzing the data and joining us today.
Cool. Yeah, thanks. It's great to be on the panel. So, yeah, hello from Berlin, from our great community based in Berlin, but also we're going to be a platform for German colorists. And some of our members are actually members of CSI, and that's our link, and those people make up the German chapter, actually. I'm not one of them, to be honest, but yeah, I'm just part of our Berlin-based German great community. And I'm gonna show you some, yeah, okay. So another thing I should mention, I worked as a colorist for several years. That's why I started this survey also, but right now I actually made a transition over to software development, and I work for Dolby now. It's pretty great. So having another perspective on this, but still I think the salary survey is very important, and we should keep working on this. So.
And Heike, we're planning to run this again, well, this year for next year, as it were. Is that correct?
Yeah, definitely. We have a new form that's set up for this year. So actually, this is the results for 2019. We're running the survey for 2020 now, but I come to this next. So
thank you.
So I find it important also to raise awareness of certain things. So I would like you to answer this poll first, and we're gonna talk about it later. So you probably see this on the Slido one.
Yeah, so can we run this in Slido?
Nice.
So again, if you log into Slido, and this will give you an idea of how the data is collected at least.
So you will have two of our questions that are in the survey now. And those are two which I think are also very important to trigger awareness to certain topics. So. Yeah, not a big surprise. The contract topic is something I think everybody should look into. And then also it is important to be part of a community. I think it doesn't have to be like a union. Like our Berlin-based community is more, yeah, and not, well, how you call it? It's a community, yeah. So not officially a union. So, but I think the benefit you have from this is that you can talk about certain topics related to money or related to contracts, and especially when you come into the field as a new one. Okay.
Of course, it is very dependent on location, isn't it? So if you're working internationally, this becomes a lot more complicated.
Yeah, I think so. But that's good for now.
Wow. Actually, I'm surprised that as much as 30% of people have managed to raise salaries.
Yeah, this is interesting. It's different than what I saw before. Usually people don't raise their salary that often or that much. This is good. It's good to see. All right, cool. So let me take over again. So yeah, the Colorist Salary Survey 2019 was mainly about, yeah, to collect data about salary range, because there is no data like this out there. There's something about editors from the editor union and guild, There's something for cinematographers, but there's nothing for colorists. We somehow, yeah, are always mixed up with other departments, right? So what we need is we need to collect data. Otherwise, we don't have yeah, a baseline that we can fall back to, I think. So the difference is we know a lot, I think, about maybe you earn more when you work in feature film or something, right? But this is all word of mouth. And if you have statistical data, it is more a stable ground if you want to go with this information to somebody. So that's why we have to do this, I think. Not just this one, but also for the following years. So yeah, the survey was there to create this baseline and to also trigger awareness about certain topics that we saw already in the 2 polls we did, right? How was this structured? So we had 23 questions. It's going to be more for this year because now that Corona was happening, and I think some people suffered from it quite a bit. We want to know about it, how this is distributed in the industry. So we'll have some more questions about this on the survey. We started actually in Germany, in Berlin, so we have a lot of replies from Germany, which is great. But we also need more from other countries. And we realized we don't get enough data. That's why we opened up internationally, which was great. We could do this also to use the CSI platforms. And we're going to do this now again. Oh, also, it's very important actually. So the survey is anonymous. We don't collect names. We don't collect email addresses. We cannot know who this person is who filled out the form. That's why it is very important to get your colleagues who work in the same city and the same country to fill out the form, because once we have like more than 5 or 6 people replying, then no one can draw back who this person was, right? And that's also the reason why we don't publish any data from any city where we just have 5 or less colorists replied, because then it's quite easy to know who it is, right? But we're not going to publish it, and that's what you're going to see in the report now, and I hope we get more people to reply. So some more common data here. So we had 308 participants. I really would like to at least double this for this year, from 53 unique countries. We have a little collection here. And yeah, in total, when we add up all the experience in years that they stated they have, we have over 3,300 years of experience in color grading. So this is amazing. But we're going to top this for the next year. So what's the employment situation? Well, not a big surprise. We have some self-employed colorists. We have some that are employed, that are staff, freelancers. So that doesn't really tell us much. We also have a big salary range. But that's why we want to have this more detailed questions, and that's why we want to dig deeper into the data. So we can basically say, for example, which is over here, yeah, what's the salary range when you just work in commercials? So the data here that's analyzed, it's all the international data. Yeah, I'm gonna let it sink in a bit more. So we have a big peak here in a lower range, and a big one here in a quite better range. All right. So how is it with documentary film and independent film? Okay, big peak here in the lower range, and more evenly distributed. So this is all some results you will find in the PDF on our website that I will
show. That's a very low income range, isn't it?
Yeah.
Does that suggest that it's a younger user
Not
base?
Not necessarily. Yeah. Okay. What we have next, episodic, which includes TV and video on demand. No documentaries that are episodic, because this field fuses into the other field. Yeah, gonna let this sink in as well. We have a big pig here. Also, always look at the numbers on the left side on the scale. You have the replies of the whole data set. So we need to top this up a bit more, I think. Will be great. Okay. Feature film, wow, evenly distributed, but a lot more is going on here on the right side of the scale, and also the middle section. It's a bit more, but also less replies, right? Max is here is 6 replies from all 308. So yeah, quite evenly, but it's more going on here. So okay. That's our big 6 replies from the country region side. Germany a lot, USA like also a lot of, no, this is not wrong, sorry, you will have the right number in the story. This is not the P, it's supposed to be 86. So, but that means I cannot analyze the data from countries where I have less than 10, or yeah, I shouldn't publish this, right? And also it's not reliable then. So get all your colleagues together to reply from one country at least, so we can analyze this data. Numbers like this is very good. Spain is also okay, like with 23. So I show you what we have. Salary range in Germany. This is the self-employed and the employed staff all together, right? Because we ask for the salary very specifically, which will take you a few minutes maybe to calculate if you normally calculate your rate by day or by hour. So we ask this very specifically so we can add this together in a more meaningful way. So comparing this to the US, we have a big, a lot of going on here on the right side. So income rate is much higher, but maybe also the cost of living, which have to be taken into account. So, but anyway, it's a big difference. And you can also see this difference when you make a comparisons to EMEA region and American, North and South America region, which is in the survey also. Yeah. Okay, some fun questions or interesting questions, depending on what side you are. So we have a lot of people using Resolve as a grading system, with Baselite, and the other ones get not so many replies. So how is the income rate for this? Okay, so DaVinci Resolve users, we have really a lot of them, but also a lot on the lower income range here. For Baselite, we have very little supply replies, right? It's just 5 here on the top max, but the income rate is here on the right side more distributed, right? So just to give you comparison, so a lot of people, but income rate is different because, yeah. Well, I'm not drawing any conclusions that are not in the data yet. So, okay. And every other system I collected in one sheet here in the others section. Sorry for all the new coder and Scratch users, but I need more replies. Okay, so the other topic I was talking about is not just collecting data and showing it and giving a baseline, is also to trigger awareness. Some questions are there just to maybe make you think about if you should work with a written contract. If you don't, maybe you want to think about it, or you want to talk about it with other colleagues in the community or in a union. I think that's a good thing. It's a lot of people who don't work with a contract. Yeah. So how long is your average grading day? Yeah, also I think one quarter is quite overworked. So it's including breaks, yes, but anyway, yeah, 9 hours here, 8 hours here, including breaks, okay, yeah, for average grading day. But a lot of people are like on average overworked, I think, which is a common thing in post-production, right? But anyway, it's not good. So think about it, or maybe use a survey if you have data to say this is the normal state, we should change it, and we can trigger something else with it, with this data. Okay, how to draw a baseline for this. For me, as a colorist from Germany in Berlin, it was just important to see, okay, where is the average? You can talk about it with your colleagues, but sometimes maybe they don't want to talk about it, right? So you should collect this data, and then you can talk about it in your community. I think that's a good starting point. So the question was, where's the general range for someone working freelance in Germany and have like a rough experience of 6 years, and you work in feature film and documentary, which would exclude the commercials and advertisements and trailers stuff. So the number is 500. 500 per day is the average in Germany. Right. So I hope you learned something from this today. And I would like to encourage you to take a look at our 2020 survey, which can be found on our website here. I'm also going to post it in the chat. Get out of this presentation mode. Well, so write down our website, and you can also reach us by email anytime. And if you're a colorist and you live in Germany, or you want to work in Germany sometimes, you can get in touch with us as well. We have a Slack channel where we communicate and we exchange knowledge, questions about grading, about technology, also about contracts, where to find help with the taxes, whatever. So
sorry, Heike, is that greatcommunity.com.de?
No, it's great.community.
Oh, great.community, that's it. That's the extension. Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think it would be very useful to have a more comprehensive data set, and particularly to look, I think it's something that the local CSI chapters, as we form them, could find very useful in negotiating salaries and income.
So I'm going to post this year's salary survey link here in the chat, so you can just click right on it.
Very nice.
And also,
and we do have a nice giveaway. Actually, this is a really cool giveaway. This is from Portrait Displays. So it's the full Kalman Studio plus the C6 HDR 2000 Tri-Stimulus Probe. So that's a professional calibration kit. Sure, it's not a high-end spectroradiometer, but it's a really good kit, and it will do any monitor. It'll do matching monitors, it will do LUTs, it'll do analysis, and it will do HDR as well. So join the quiz. This is one of our bigger giveaways. Okay, let's kick it off. What salary marks the baseline for a freelance colorist's daily rate in Germany? And do you work for more than that or less than that? It'll make you feel good or make you feel bad. Very good. Lots of people paying attention. I like to see. Which of the following cities is not within the top 8 lists of replies? In other words, there were not enough replies to make it valuable as a data set. Okay, and the answer to that was Munich.
We got surprisingly low results, a few results from Munich. Yeah.
They don't like to talk about their salaries, I guess.
Yeah, maybe they do now.
Which grading system is used primarily by participants of the survey? Okay, big response to that one. How was the gender distribution of participants who took the survey? Female, male split.
Yeah, this also counts into the triggering awareness section, to be honest.
Yeah, and I would say probably the answer reflects the attendance of the Colorist Mixer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Some really great discussions, some great questions, and a big audience out there.
That's phenomenal. And it's rising.
That was really great. And everyone, make sure you head on over to the links that were provided. Check out those surveys, fill in those surveys. Obviously, there's a lot of interesting information out there regarding colorists all over the world. And the more people that fill those in, the more correct they're going to be.